Like, also don't try to argue with me that Stuart Little 2 is like some sort of Mona Lisa. I think as a speedrun too, it's also really accessible because you don't have to know too much about Stuart Little 2 in order to play it and have fun with it at a decent level of success. Like, there's some hard tricks, especially if you do any percent. And obviously, you know, you have to memorize where to go and stuff like that. But, like, there are games like that I run that I think are just, like, really great places to get started with the hobby. And Stuart Little 2 is, I think, one of them. If you're, like, a PlayStation 1 nut and you're looking for something a little bit different. I think Truth or Square is another really good example of a great speedrun for beginners to the hobby. Because it's one of those games that isn't super execution heavy. It's not the hardest thing in the world. There's obviously a lot of, you know, meat on the bone to like optimize and execute on like a lot harder strategies, but like Truth or Square is really easy to get into in a way that still feels like you're absolutely murdering and desecrating the game. And that feels really good if you're a new speedrunner, because it makes you feel like you're a god, right? How the fuck did I get away with that one? Hey. Nice.
I'd like to wake up now.
Nice. So I'm thinking I might actually just cut stream after a couple more attempts as opposed to playing some Lunasis. I don't think I have the energy or the bandwidth. I think I need to be on energy saver mode. But I think regardless, I want to at least play some Lunasis True Ending tomorrow. Because there's some new stuff I want to try to integrate into a PB. That was also my first run, and there's obviously some stuff I can probably improve on. But I don't know. Maybe I'll just stick with movie for a bit. I'm just really hoping that I hear back from... So, for this new Hotfix show that's coming up, I submitted 3 runs for it. I submitted this run, Lunasis True Ending, and Vex Any Percent. Sort of like in order of how I wanted them to be likely to be taken. I feel like I shot myself a little bit in the foot by submitting Lunasis because I feel like the host is probably more likely to take Lunasis since it's a bit shorter. But we'll see.
Super spin cycle.
2 or 3. Good. It feels so nice to consistently be even out of no cheese, regardless of how my PB did. Like, that's one of the nicest quality of life things about running on OG now, is being able to consistently hit that token warp. Nice.
Spongebob.
Monster House. I am not familiar. It's just hard, so GG. Yeah. I think what people don't give this game as well as Battle for Bikini Bottom credit for is I think these are two of, if not the hardest games to derust of all time when it comes to speedrunning. Yo, Tremor, thank you for the resub. Is this thing on? It looks like it. Hope you're having a great evening, my friend. Or at least a comfy one.
I'm not feeling like a game of catch right now. These just ooze macho. Upsy-daisy. Filling, but not heavy. Whoa! A fragment.
I really don't need those foggers, I think, but I'm just kind of going for them out of habit. We're good. Alright, you think we got bounceless? It's been an alright evening. Nice. We will take alright any day of the week. God, I'm really excited. After this Fable run at GDQ, we've got a really nice, like, kind of PlayStation-y block. We have Ape Escape 2 into Frogun into Medieval Resurrection, which I'm really looking forward to. Ace has been working so fucking hard on Medieval Resurrection, so I'm just really glad he got the opportunity. Yeah, believe it or not, Medieval Resurrection is actually a PSP like reimagining of the PS1 game, which is kind of cool. And then you have Frogun, which is like an indie game, but it's like very much PS1 inspired. 8 to 9.
Manliness, even in the corners.
Oh wow. Should still be fine on this propeller cycle. I'll just have to go a little wider. Yep, 8 to 9. If Cosmic Shake doesn't have the Undies bungee, yeah. I flew too close to the sun there, but it was worth a shot. Okay. Oh, this is a nightmare. on an otherwise really good split. Don't worry, I know what to do here. I need to go back and double check that floating block that I actually got on the last run, because I think that was the 303. But I have to go back and double check. Because if that's the case, I need to like blow up the Discord with that, because I've been trying to get like a 303 for like 4 years. Yeah, you see, that spin is helping me get it more consistent, but it's also losing the ice physics, so I need to study that one a bit more.
This hurts me more than it hurts you.
I was having issues with it, so I kind of changed my setup a bit. Still a really solid split overall, I think. Okay.
I found one.
Did Mindy bother to tell us if the train was still running?
Got wood. I got wood, but I fucked it up. Not gonna work. Beefed it. Oh, that worked. Okay, cool. I'll take it. I think that's decent enough to be even. This will just be an honest run at this point.
Almost there, buddy.
All right.
You have to get.
That was probably the best way I could have saved it. That was clutch. That could have gone very bad very quickly.
Nothing can stop the mighty stun thingy. Don't laugh at me. Cut it down.
Still, nobody does those buttons that way, and I think it's faster. But like, I can understand if people don't want to do that strat. But all right, here we go. Good try.
Whoa. Ouch.
Yeah, no, I need the headphones on for this.
Whoa.
Yeah, instantly solved my problem. That's not too bad, honestly.
How much of a man do I have to be? Ooh, is this where they make the little umbrellas that go in drinks? Oh, no.
Oh, hold on. I'm done. Can you imagine?
These just ooze macho.
13 to 14. Maybe one day I'll suffer for the culture and learn fast corkscrew. How much time is it even? It's like being a pace pal, but you only care when the streamer gets a gold split. Nah, I wasn't close enough, I don't think. Sorry if I'm not following super well with what's being talked about with Monster House. I just don't have any frame of reference. That was wood. I don't know if that clears though. Oh, it clears. Okay, cool. Oh, that keeps us alive in this attempt. So this is a little bit slower pace going into this next bit, but again, we have a bunch of potential time to make up if I have a really good Now That We're Men. So we'll probably be about even going into Now That We're Men, hopefully. Get prep for school tomorrow. Ah, tragic. get it done before you had to go back. Yeah, that makes sense.
Moving.
It's going up. There's the edge of town.
Oh, it's a 32. 32 high. It's pretty good for me. More chill categories, so not too worried about it doing it in the weekend. Gotcha.
The gates are locked.
Doing pretty good on manlies, I think. Thank you for the good luck. Yeah, this run isn't anything as nearly as exciting as the one we had going before, but a run is a run, you know? Kind of just feels good to be pushing buttons at the moment. I think tomorrow I'm going to try to do some Lunistis, but that depends on how I feel tomorrow. I think my brain is just kind of in a spot where it's like, it's happy at PB, but it's just like it really wants one more that I want to sink my teeth into before I can really feel confident. Either leaving it for a moment or just kind of like dialing back a little. Because I'm going to have to take a break from movie at some point, which sucks because I don't want to kill my momentum and have to de-rest again. But like it is very necessary that I'm doing what I'm doing for just my own pursuits and plans right now for what I want to try to achieve this year. Basically, when it comes to the speed games I run, I group them into categories based on whether they're, if they're a 3D platformer or like a 3D game in general, based on whether or not they have inverted camera controls or not. This is a game that has inverted camera controls, and Chibi Robo and Truth or Square, for example, do not have inverted camera controls. And so as a result, I tend to group the games I run together because it can be really hard to switch back and forth between the two camera systems at will. So to try to minimize that, I block the games the way I do. Alright, have a good night, Chummer. Thank you for dropping by and for resubbing as well. I appreciate you. Have a good sleep. The big thing I really want to work on soon is my Chibi Robo run. I think it's about time I came back to that. Because it's been like 3... You know, we're talking about games I haven't PB'd in forever. It's been freaking ages since I PB'd in Chibi Robo. I also want to try to see how Wii U affects things. There's an Indiathon? Interesting. Do you see it on like Twitter or something? Because I haven't heard about this. Depending on who's running it, I might submit. Good. Good frogfish. Oh, it's on a Wangus. Okay.
To get to shelter.
Ah. I think I was too early on the second jump. Yeah, definitely. Indie-thon Spring 2023. Okay. Oh, shit. Yo, Manto, thanks for the raid. Jesus. I got jump scared. Yo, what's up, everybody? Y'all came in at a really cool time. This is actually a really fun part of the run. So if you haven't met me before, I'm Jaxler. I specialize in kind of weird and obscure speed games from this console generation, which is like early 2000s era. This is the Spongebob SquarePants movie. If you're familiar with Battle for Bikini Bottom, this is in the same engine, and it might as well be the sequel to that game. I'm doing no pause storage, which basically is like a no dupes category, and is pretty much the main any percent for this game. I'm going to be going into a platforming level after this called Now That We're Men that has like a bunch of cool tech to it. But for now, we're kind of just vibing in Rock Slide, which is just a slide level with some platforming skips here and there. If you got any questions, feel free to let me know. Manto, hope you had a great time streaming. Hope you're having a good night. Hope stream was comfy. / Rack 2 wasn't being too mean. That was early. There's a 1-frame window where if you touch down on the surface of the rock there, you get like a speed boost. But it's really hard. I think purple buffers it, but love this game. Hell yeah! Good to see some movie fans in the chat. I'm telling you what, Manto, your community's got good taste.
I have trouble saying goodbye.
It's weird seeing people take damage in movie. Yeah, it's sort of becoming a thing now. So there was a new skip that got discovered in this game called Rub-a-Dub Skip, which allows you to essentially skip the Rub-a-Dub slide level almost completely. And as a consequence of how much time that saves, and obviously we go for it because it's a big skip, but as a result, you end up getting less of these manliness points, which are used to upgrade your abilities and attacks and stuff. And so you end up taking some like damage boosts. The damage boosts don't actually lose you any time in movement, but you end up taking them to get some extra manliness points over the course of the run, so that you can make sure you still meet your upgrade thresholds. So for this level coming up, it's really important that I have at least one upgrade point in the tank, so I can upgrade the next move we're gonna get as soon as I load in. Cool little skip leap of faith here. Because the upgraded bowl is absolutely broken. And then kind of my long-term macro goal is I'm trying to make sure that I reach that 50k point to get the next upgrade by the time I get to, like, either by the time I finish Now That We're Men, which is the next level, or by the time that I am sort of starting off the level after. So that I can get upgraded throw, and that lets me do some really cool tech. Yeah, welcome in, everybody. Oh, nice. Nice. Spongebob, cereal bowl, dude, not quite. But basically, when you upgrade the bowl, it's like the bubble bowl from Battle, but when you upgrade it, it gives it this sweet explosion area of effect. It's a hard requirement to get it at some point in this run to set up for something called mini skip later on in the game. But it's also just like a really powerful attack and makes things way faster in general across the board. So this level's split up into 2 different sections. This first part has a couple of skips. It's decently straightforward though. But once you see me go through a door into a loading screen to go into the second portion of the level, I have a gauntlet of like 4 tricks in a row that are all really, really precise. If I get them all, it'll be really hype. But I'm also not going to be looking at chat super hard during that section because it's a really keystone point of the run. So I'm going to let that ball go. You'll hear kind of the crates explode in the background. And that allows me to kind of just get those without having the damage boost, which would otherwise kill all of my momentum there. So weird quirk for this bungee. This is the only bungee where you can destroy the targets from underneath. So you can destroy a target while also setting up something called the infinite dive glitch, which is also in Battle for Bikini Bottom. Where if you get stuck under something while you're diving on it, it lets you like refresh your dive move infinitely until you take damage, and it's really, really powerful there unless you do some really fast movement through there. So since I missed the token warp buffer there, unfortunately, it actually doesn't lose too much time. But it also allows me to get a little bit of extra manlies if I miss it, so it means we're pretty much guaranteed to make the manliness point route, or the upgrade point route that I'm looking for. Alright, so you're going to see me do something here called a bash boost. I'm going to explain this now because you'll see me do a couple of these in a moment. But essentially in this game, if you hold the Y button out of hit stun from like a thing like getting boosted back by the goo, for example, it'll buffer a bash input as soon as you leave hit stun. And so we use that there in order to sort of boost ourselves across that gap to avoid all the wall jumps. Alright, so that's the mini boss. If you hit him from a distance there, it's a 3-cycle hit, 3 hits to kill instead of 6 normally, which is kind of just a weird thing that I kind of found by accident many, many years ago. But yeah, now we're going into the gauntlet section here. A lot of time for me to save here, but also very, very difficult segment here. So I'm going to be going a little bit quiet here. Wish me luck. You'll see what I mean once we start getting into some of this.
This is great. You really gotta try it.
That should clear. Good. That's not even considered part of the gauntlet, and that's still a scary strat for me. It shouldn't be, but it has been lately. Alright, here's where the fun stuff comes into play. This is called a double bash boost. I'm just going to double check. Good. So you can get a bash boost off the lava and then off the monster's head and get the token for free. Alright, here's the other part. It gets harder and harder as the gauntlet goes on. Gotta listen for an audio key here. First try, nice. So that's good. Those two aren't like super bad. The next one is a frame perfect trick though. And when I mean frame perfect, I don't mean like in a Mario 64. It's a 20 FPS game. This is a 60 FPS game. And I'm going for unbuffered. You can apparently pause buffer this, but I find it to be less consistent when I do that. So if I hit this first try, we are going to be in the green by quite a lot. But I can miss this a couple of times. Oh my god. Holy shit! Okay. Okay. This run got real. Alright. Yeah. So there is a 1-frame window after you come out of hit stun from like a obstacle like that where you are in a grounded animation for a single frame. And if you jump on that frame, you get your double jump. And that lets you boost all the way up to that platform and skip the floating block. Holy sweet Jesus Christ. That's gonna put us another like minute into the green. Jesus. Okay. Alright, so temper your expectations because I had an amazing run of this level in my PV. So I just gotta survive here. But very, very, very promising. Not gonna go for the 1 frame here. I don't believe in myself. So there's another one of those 1 frame goo damage boosts that you can do to do that skip. But I just did the more consistent method because I don't want to burn any more time. Good. Alright, so this you're going to see here in a moment why we're trying to get this upgrade. I'm pretty much the only runner that does this route, but it's really hype, so you'll see why I'm trying to get this. We're going to upgrade the throw, and we're going to do some magic. Hopefully. Looks good. Whee! So that's called the invisible crate glitch. I can try to explain that later, because you'll see me do it again, but I'm not out of the woods yet with the hard stuff. Good. Boosting off of that enemy spawn in order to conserve its momentum from the damage boost into the ice block, which lets me get out of bounds. Nice. Also got ledge grabless there. So one of the big things about movement in this game is you're trying to avoid ledge grab animations whenever possible. It's a bit more of a big deal in this game. Like, it's still a big deal at top level in Battle for Bikini Bottom. But it's a lot more so in this game because you tend to play as Patrick a lot more in this game. You really don't see a lot of Patrick these days in Battle for Bikini Bottom, from what I understand, for any percent. And Patrick's like a ledge grab. So SpongeBob's ledge grab animation loses a second. Patrick's loses like 2.5. It's a pretty long ledge grab. That golded without me doing the faster strat. That's insane. All right. So you're going to see me do the invisible crate here again, hopefully. So basically, I'm going to charge throw this at the wall. And like part of its collision data won't get properly destroyed, and it leaves this invisible hitbox that when we like step on it and jump at the right time, just launches us up into the air. Oh, that really stinks. That can rarely happen. See if I can save it. Come on. Come on. Okay, we're live. We're live. Gonna lose some time here. Probably gonna lose that 23-second buffer. So slides have a direction that they're trying to send you down. I got a really rare, unfortunate ledge grab that can happen sometimes when I ceiling surf there. Where what ends up happening is I get a ledge grab and then I have to clip back into the floor and do a sequence of 2 frame window jumps in order to clear up the slide backwards. Yeah, still a minute, 60 seconds ahead or so, but we managed to save that pretty well. So those slides, there's like it takes 3 frames for the slide to sort of impart its intended motion upon you. But if you jump within that sort of 2 frame window before it applies it, it just nullifies any of the speed it's trying to give you. And so you can use that to climb up in reverse up that slide. And that skip ends up actually saving a couple of minutes just on how you're supposed to get that token normally. Even if you're a beginner and don't do that skip, that that token is still like really fast. Good. Playing it a bit safe here. Yellow. Red. Yellow. Blue. Yellow. Blue. To red. To yellow. 27, 28. So I got what right there what's called a token warp. If you pause within a 2 frame window of picking up one of the tokens, you actually are able to pause and skip sort of the token grab animation. There are instances, I think, in Battle for Bikini Bottom where you can skip like spatula grab animations. I'm going to wait here just to play it safe. I really don't want to lose this lead that I have. taking this bit a bit safe and not really talking over it because it's a tough platforming segment because you have these ice blocks, you have these bubble blocks. We're taking it pretty safe through here. But yeah, honestly, I'm not too upset about losing 23 seconds on 3 meter. Because, like, that's like a not, like, if you run into that, that's like probably the best I could have handled that situation realistically under pressure like this. So, like, I'm not gonna, like, that's, like, I could be upset at losing the time. But then again, like, it takes, like, someone who's, like, has the control and the experience over those 2-frame slide jumps to really be able to make that save happen. Oh, that's not great. Gonna lose a little more time here. Because you want to try to snipe both buttons without having to manually slam them. But I don't think it's a huge loss. But we'll see. Yeah, no, not too bad. Okay, here comes Dennis. I gotta focus here for the quick kill. I think I missed this in PB. Good. Yeah, I definitely missed that in PB. Please. Okay, that actually doesn't end up losing much time.
Light as a feather, but heavy as a brick.
Alright, now we just get to vibe here for a bit. If y'all are still here from Manta's raid, by the way, thank you all for sticking around for the run. This has been... I was, like, really enjoy getting to, like, talk tech and describe tricks to people. You know, it's not like a marathon, but it's, you know, it's really fun. And Manto's the homie, too. If you're in my stream regularly and don't follow Manto, Mantodia, that's his full Twitch username, then you should, because he's a really good dude. Plays a lot of Ratchet and Clank stuff, I think is his main. Well, that's all I've seen him run, so take that for what you will. I don't know, maybe one day I'll convince Manto to run Neopets, but I say that about, like, literally every PlayStation runner I meet, so you do what you can. So my basic strategy going into this level is to bank a bunch of nitros, which are the sort of like the mushrooms in Mario Kart games, if you can think of them like that. And so what I'm doing here is I'm banking a bunch of these so that I can, on the second lap at a certain point, that is really unfortunate. So basically at a certain point, what I'm going to try to do is boost out ahead of Goofy Goober here, because if we get too far behind him or take the wrong path, he will instant fail the mission. And so what I can do is actually boost out ahead of him using all these nitros we have saved up And if we get far enough ahead of him, it will actually unload him from the game. And if he's unloaded, it means the game won't like successfully do the checks to make sure you're on the correct part of the track. And so it lets you completely break some of Goofy. Like, it lets you take like different parts of the track that you're not supposed to be able to, which lets us save like a boatload of time later on. So we're gonna be taking a shortcut meant for a hidden extra, and boosting our way through that with the 5 or 6 nitros that we have stored up here. And so you see me got like 6 here. This is a little extra, but here we go. So we're gonna boost through this fake wall here. Grab another nitro on our way through here. And then we should be good for now, but I'm just going to save a nitro and pop it over this ramp, just so I can make sure that I fly over some of these gumballs here. Nice dodge. Gonna take it wide so I can avoid the blue one right there. We're good to go. But yeah. Even though, like, I know this run can sometimes get a bad rap, because it's like, oh, it's a platformer, but it has sliding and driving levels, right? But it's still, like, these levels still have tech to them, and I still think they're really neat. And you don't have to like them. They don't have to be everyone's taste, but I think they're really cool. It's a big part of why I like running them, because sometimes, too, when you have, like, a game that's, like, a super... This is a personal preference thing, and I'm not trying to, like, shit on anybody's speed game. But, and this is true for some of the games I run, is that sometimes there's just so much platforming stuff going on that, like, you don't have enough time as a runner to mentally reset, especially for some of the longer endurance categories. And so I kind of like that these levels exist to sort of break up the pace. And, you know, I'm not even doing all the strats I could possibly be doing on some of these driving and sliding levels. But it's just, like, it's a nice break. And I kind of value that, if that makes sense, as a runner. It's a lot better mentally. Also really comfy. Like, sometimes driving the paddy wagon is just comfy. I felt like a pretty solid Sunday. Yeah, it's gonna be 4.5 seconds. Pretty good. This is... Alright, so this is like the last slide level of the run. We're going to be coming back here a bit for an extra token just for routing purposes. But the way this level ends up working out is that you have these, on the bottom section, you have all of these nozzles that you're supposed to flip. And then the top section, you have these lamps you're supposed to knock down. We're going to be doing these kind of in an unintended order. I'm going up this yellow tubing here in order to set my checkpoint up here, so that I can then do a death abuse. So you're going to see me grab this one right here. You're going to see me do a big leap of faith, grab the second one, and then fall into the water here. Then you're going to see me double jump over a cutscene trigger, and that lets me basically respawn right near the exit to the second section. And lets us, like, basically cut an entire lap around the track, if you will. And so there's 4 targets that we got to hit up here, and you can kind of do them in any order you want. The fastest way of doing it is going blue-red and then yellow-orange, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to take the blue path here, and this is going to get us 1 target, and then we can make a jump from the blue path to the red path, where that one's target is, right over there. So we can skip a lap. Oh, I got the exit too, swag. Then we're going to go ahead and jump back on the blue path so that we can quickly get over to the yellow. And I'm trying very hard to avoid that health pickup because I'm trying to do another death abuse. So I actually missed that strat in my PB, and I think I generally did not have a great time here in my PB. Yeah, I almost like 20 seconds here. Rough. We're going to jump from yellow to orange, grab the orange target, and then immediately laser ourselves. And that's going to go ahead and put us back right towards a checkpoint right at the start on this red cable, which coincidentally puts us right by the lamps. So we're pretty much good to go from here. Oh, nice. I managed to get my Sum Abyss down below 107, which is a good milestone to hit. Again, I'm not perfect. I still got a lot to work on. I'm only 7th on the boards right now, but hopefully this will get us moving on the up and up. Alright, here comes Dennis. Again.
Good job, Spongebob. Now he's even angrier than before.
Alright, lost a little time there, but that's okay. Yeah, I did not have a very good time in Guest 1 in my PB. There's a strat you can do here in every time trial afterwards called Guest Jumps, where it's a series of frame-perfect slide jumps to go up the yellow, basically the yellow path kind of backwards. But I'm not consistent at it, and it's not really worth going for at my current skill level. And I never even really went for it when I was like even top 3 back in the day. I just got the upgrade point 2, which is not a horrible thing to see. And then I'm trying to set up for a similar sort of damage boost situation where I'm going to die on the red coil. And that's going to death warp me closer to the lamps that I want to get on top of. Lets me skip a lap, essentially. And then we're going to be going into playing topless. I'll probably be quiet for a portion of playing topless. Because there is a bit of tech going on. And I just need to make sure I maintain my consistency through there. We're doing pretty good. This is a pretty solid pace. I do have some more... I think I have some time save in playing topless. Might squeeze a little bit out of here. And then I have up to 20 seconds in the final boss if I manage to get everything damageless. Wanted to see more Hasselhoff. Yeah, I know. Don't we all?
How are you?
Born too late to witness the debut of The Wall by Pink Floyd. Born too early to have a time machine. So true. So one thing I'll say is we're not supposed to be able to access playing topless at all until we have 4 more tokens. But we can do like a strat here in order to completely bypass that requirement and use 4 tokens from this level to unlock the guitar. But this is where I have to concentrate now, so wish me luck. That's not good. That's not what I wanted. I lived. Wow. Clutch. So I got off cycle there because some of my targets got sniped, which you would think would help you, but it actually makes the cycle way more dangerous. So a really good save there. Still gonna cost me some time. But yeah, we're alive, and that's what matters. Hope you're doing good, Squirrel, by the way, and thank you as well for the... Oh, God. This might not be good.
Just like walking on ice cream.
I'm not going to risk it. But we managed to survive. Cool. Didn't pull a Daxon. So if you accidentally cartwheel here on like on a very specific portion, you will miss the token in softlock. It's very funny. It happened to a good buddy of mine, Daxon SR. Shouts to Daxon.
Get up here and fight like a starfish.
If you haven't seen this before, this is pretty funny. So there's a token challenge that's supposed to rise out of the lava, but it's always loaded underneath the map. So if you go out of bounds and then ceiling surf by using some cartwheels, the token is always loaded. And so this is also going to unlock us the warp that's associated with this part and let us skip a bunch of the level as well. How many tokens do you get in the run? Total 43. Yeah, so we're going to lose a little time here, but not too much. Hold on. I'm going to lose a little bit of time there, but what I'm trying to set up there is something called bowl storage, where I detonate the explosion from my my sponge bowl, and then exit and load a different area, and that'll keep the particle effect and sort of like that AoE bubble for it loaded into the game. And that's going to be really important for setting up something called Mindy Skip. We're not exactly sure how it works, but something about that particle effect being loaded in lets us do some sort of memory manipulation that lets us like skip past the 50 token barrier that you would normally see on the like last driving level on the run. Normally you need 50 tokens minimum to complete the game, but with this you can skip those. Nice, got unlucky. What? Am I gonna have to do this all over again too? Okay, no, cool. Great. Thank you. So we're gonna lose a little more time here, but I'm still enough ahead that I'm not gonna be upset at the outcome of this run for the most part. So I'll mention this here because you'll see me do it and then try to execute it. I'm going to do something called a guitar glide clip where I'm going to press guitar on a wall jump panel, which is going to initiate this weird glitched hover state. And then I'm going to double tap select to lag myself and clip out of bounds. And this will let me hover out of bounds and do something very funny here to skip some of the... Yeah. And so now we start flying, and then that's going to let us skip that big vertical section up there, which is really slow.
Or is it just me?
And we'll clip back in bounds right here. Then I'm going to do another bash boost to get across the lava, and then you'll see me go for something hopefully called Monumental Bash. Just going to concentrate here. Good. Good. Hello? Hello? Excuse me? Oh, that stinks, but we're still far and away ahead, and that's all I need. That was a little rough. Well, what strat? Monumental Bash, or... Hold on a second. I'm just going to make sure I hit mini skip, and then I'll answer your question once you know what question you're asking.
I can bring back the paddy wagon.
Got it. Alright, this run is very likely to PB. The glide stuff? Yeah, so that was discovered a couple of years ago. That specific out of bounds in that strat, I believe, was found by a combination of me and Chatterteeth. Or at least we were some of the people who were initially laughing at. Somebody else might have found it, but I remember me like there's a one of the earliest Twitch clips of it was me getting it for the first time. So I just kind of like assumed that I was the one who was one of the first people to mess with it. But yeah, no, guitar gliding was known as a thing for a while. It was a pretty early discovery in the game's history, from what I understand. Chris might be able to correct me if I'm wrong, since he is old as dirt when it comes to community history for this game, since he's been here for a lot of it. But yeah, essentially guitar gliding was known for a while. It didn't really have any uses, but was kind of a party trick thing. And then when like the lag clipping stuff was like really starting to get worked on and found, that's when that sort of strategy got found. Basically, there were a lot of people working on guitar glide related stuff at the time. Me and Shadow were also working on a lot of stuff with regards to the guitar glide clip that gets used in Now That We're Men nowadays for stuff like early powers. I think we were also people who did a lot of work initially on that. It's hard to say who discovered what, except for very like specific circumstances, because it's such a collaborative thing, right? Yo, Pat, how's it going? Who found Miniskip? I don't remember who, but I do remember it was found by complete accident. Somebody has the name for that, but I don't remember who it was, off the top of my dome. Good. So I have potentially 20 set. I have a good chunk of time to save in this final boss coming up, if I play my cards right. It's not easy to do because the first phase of the boss fight is so hard. But I fumbled the bag pretty hard at the end of third phase too, so I think we're at least guaranteed something, if I play everything decently okay. Been running Spooky Swamp for a change. Oh, it was Foggy. Okay. I wanted to say Foggy, but I wasn't sure.
Dodge, Spongebob, dodge!
So I'm going to be kind of quiet time here for a bit. Good.
I command you to kill him!
Metal forged by the power of rock.
That's it, SpongeBob! You got him with that one! Dodge, SpongeBob, dodge!
If I do this next bit damageless, I save a pretty good chunk of time. I think I lagged through the hit. Okay, I'm gonna lose a little bit of time because I didn't get over quickly enough. So I'm gonna lose on time on 2 laser cycles here, but that is a good trade in my eyes. I need to start upgrading guitar a little sooner. But yeah, the last 2 phases for me are pretty free, and I know I have some guaranteed time saves in phase 3. Big key here is to not get hit, because his phase resets if he deals damage to you. Good.
SpongeBob, you got him with that one!
Okay, I might lose another laser cycle here. Yeah, I will lose another laser cycle, but that's okay. Bit nervous, but that's okay.
The room's spinning, or is it just me?
Time's gonna end on final hit.
Kill Spongebob.
Head right now.
Stop that! Your chops are too righteous.
Really glad I kept this run going and kept playing. I knew I was feeling good. I just had to believe in myself a little bit harder.
Destroy Spongebob.
Head right now.
There it is. Oh, I got a 108 too. Nice. 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 Let's fucking go. That's a huge improvement. That feels a lot better.
Kill him, you idiot!
Holy crap. Okay, I'll turn my camera on.
Idiot!
Hi. I've been keeping my camera off for the past couple of streams just because I think it's been helping with my mental a bit. That's a really big improvement for me.
Time. Oh well, that's
That actually puts me back in top 5.
heroes who recovered my crown.
That's actually a pretty big deal for me.
Spongebob epic, you have performed a manly deed.
Oh,
Proud of you. Thanks, Mindy. I've learned a few things about myself. I may be a dork,
that's huge. So that puts me back in top 5 already.
but more importantly,
I expect Foggy to get a PB pretty soon too,
I just
because I know Foggy has been playing lately.
normal.
But
The most heroic tale ever told.
basically, if I want to get like my goal, which is kind of like the top 3 contender range, I need a sub 108. This is a really good step in the right direction. But yeah, very, very, very good run. Very happy with that. I know I'm not like emoting too much verbally. Thank you all for the GGs. But yeah, skipping the 109 that's a really big deal for me. Yeah, so I bopped both Sky and Vol with that one. So I know Sky said that they were gonna get back into gear and start playing again now that I was in range. Yeah, that one felt good. Definitely still room to improve that Neptune a lot, and I still have a lot I need to work on over the course of the run. That, now that we're men's split, is going to be really hard to beat, because that was basically perfect. But yeah, I'm really happy about that. Whew! Feels good. Thanks for the GGs, everybody. Holy frickin' moly, we got a lot of people here, too. Normally, while GDQ's going on, I would normally just host GDQ, but if we got a bunch of homies hanging, I'm gonna try to find someone for y'all to check out. It's on the smaller side. Let me take a look here. Okay, I would host Ninja Cop, but it looks like Ninja Cop's about done streaming. Ah, come on. Somebody's got to be playing something cool. Maybe I'll just raid GDQ. Or, like... but yeah, I'll go ahead and get that on. You too. Soon.